Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. Raise your hand if you took the Narcan training. Excellent. Thank you, Barbara. Did the training. The first thing I'd like to do is introduce Scout Troop 329 with Rob Allen. They're going to be doing the honor guard.
All right. Troop face flag. Scout sign. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Two. Scout forward face. Scout sign. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty, to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people in advance, mentally awake and morally straight. The Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Two.
Thank you very much. Well, I would like to, first of all, my name is Dorothy Johnson, and the reason that we're here is this tree right here. I lost my son 10 years ago from substance use. And while I was St. Ursula's Center, I said I needed to do something as a symbol of growth and awareness. As a registered nurse, I went back to work and nobody would talk about it. And I said, there's a problem. If they're not talking about it, no one else is. So I planted the tree. Actually, Carl planted the tree for me. And it's growing. Every year it's growing. And look tonight, look, there's a lot of people here. And I thank you for being here. Because people don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about, they say the word overdose. I don't like the word overdose. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, I think I'm going to overdose today. You know, I just don't like that word. There's three things that are very, very important. First of all, increasing awareness to shed the shame and the stigma of drug use so people can talk about it and come out of the closet. There's many parents that are taking Narcan training, and when I ask them where their child is, they tell me upstairs. They're at home. So they get trained in Narcan to try to save their child if they walk in the room and they're not breathing. It's terrible. It's devastating. The second thing is mental health. Mental health, obviously no one wakes up, like I said before, I want to be a drug addict today, I'm going to overdose. So obviously there are things that are going on in our youth's heads and adults that we can't see. And they're not going to show. And parents will say, not my child. Well, I would have said, not my child. Never, not my child. But I got that phone call. So unless we continue to do this, it's just going to continue and continue. And unfortunately, it has not gotten any better. But the groups of people that are coming together is getting bigger. And we are here at the library, and I'm very grateful that the tree still stands. Where's Ronnie Devine? Here we go. Ronnie Devine is on the board of directors of the library, and I'm very grateful for all the support that they've provided me, as well as the Chamber of Commerce supporting what I'm doing and allowing me to speak about it. You know, we are two towns, one community. We have the town of Islip and the town of Brookhaven. I have Madame Angie Carpenter here. Angie, would you like to please come up? Thank you for coming. You know, together we have to work together. We can't be separate. That's the only way it's going to work. It's not who's better than this one or who's better than that one. It's coming together.
Thank you very much, and thank you for all that you're doing for your advocacy. It can't be easy. It certainly can't be easy. So we thank you for your bravery. Tomorrow, August 31st, is International Overdose Awareness Day. So on the eve of this, very significant. In fact, please come up and join me, Councilwoman Mullen, Mary Kate Mullen, who is our liaison from the town board to our opioid task force. But on the eve of this meaningful day for our community, we're going to be lighting this tree tonight in memory of those lives that were lost here in our beloved Bayport, Blue Point, and Sayville communities. As Dorothy said, town of Brookhaven, town of Islip. But I think we can all agree that this is something we can all, wrap our hands and hearts around and really, really try to make a difference. We formed our Opioid Awareness Task Force a number of years ago, and Marianne Pfeiffer from Youth Enrichment Services, Marianne's just been a stalwart in the fight, and to encourage discussion, to encourage awareness. And someone brought to us, Kathy Konisdorf is here, she brought to us the initiative down, I believe it was in Maryland, where a town went purple to just raise that awareness. So 4 years ago, Islip went purple, and we're so delighted that Brookhaven has joined us, and I believe the town of Huntington and the town of Babylon, and little by little we are spreading it across not only Suffolk County, but also into Nassau County, because the village of Massapequa Park has also gone purple. So, town by town, county by county, people are going to start talking, and that's what you need to do, that awareness, that discussion. We're gonna lift this, we really, really are. Kate?
Thank you, Supervisor. When you asked me to head up the task force on behalf of the town board with Mary Ann to be the liaison, it was such an honor. And I've met so many great people along the way. Dorothy, the work you and the Great South Bay Coalition do is just remarkable. And I'm so happy to see representatives from the District Attorney's Office. Chris Clayton's here, and my background as a narcotics prosecutor. Just the cases that I saw, and the people. We have to put an end to this, and it's because of everyone here that we're going to be able to make some progress. And thank you again, Supervisor, for making me part of that.
Thank you, Kate, for your willingness to serve. But also, remember, it seems to have gotten worse. And sometimes things have to get worse before they get better. But COVID really reared its ugly head and has made the numbers of cases escalate. But with everyone pulling together, I see Bob Draffin from the Chamber and many, many organizations across our hamlets are here. That is what's going to make the difference. So keep doing what you're doing, and we in the town of Islip are absolutely committed to help in any way we can. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Dorothy, thank you.
Thank you very much. There is one other issue that I wanted to address tonight. Other than increasing awareness about substance use and mental health, domestic violence falls into that category too. Because if somebody's high, women, men are getting beaten up. And I have to, tonight, as we light the tree, I want you to remember Gabby. Gabby lived across the street from me. And I want you to remember her bright light, her beautiful blue eyes, because things like this can't happen. I mean, mental health is really the spine of everything. And that's, how the brain works and what people think. I mean, the shootings that are going on, just everything. And when you look at it, it's, it's drugs. It comes down to drugs. I mean, they're invading us. They're invading our country. They're killing our kids. And Who's doing anything about it? We need to know who we are electing and what they're going to do to make a difference. Because people complain, but yet, they vote for the people that don't do the right thing. So please, just remember that. And those three things, substance use, mental health, and domestic violence, is very rampant. And it's all because of drugs. I'd like to introduce you again to my dear friend.
Thank you, Dorothy. On behalf of the Bayport-Blue Point Library, our beautiful new library that you see right over to the side, this type of event that we're having this evening is just perfect for what we had built our library for. We envisioned our library 4 or 5 years ago of coming here to take over the good works of the good Sisters of St. Ursuline. We said these are the type of events, community events, happy events, sad events, retrospective events. We're here for everybody in our community. This is our new community center for Bayport and Blue Point. And besides that, we are now a regional library within Long Island. We're proud to have you here tonight. I'm proud to be Survey's president. Oh, Neil, okay, we have, I need glasses for that. We have a proclamation. When you get older, you need glasses for all these things now. We have a certificate of appreciation presented to, and I also work for Neil Foley as a consultant down at Brookhaven, so I'll happy to give this to you on his behalf. Given to Dorothy Johnson on the 10th anniversary tree lighting. On the wings of hope, your dedication and commitment to ending drug overdoses is appreciated today and on International Drug Awareness Day and every day. Presented on behalf of the 500,000 residents of the town of Brookhaven, this 30th day of August 2022. Dorothy, this is very well deserved for you. Yeah. We also have the president of the Bayport Blue Point Chamber, Rob Welsh. Rob, raise your hand over there. Rob is very shy. He's our new president. Yvette Silsby, president of one of our civic groups. Bob Traffin once again is here. Bob is a stalwart president of our Bayport Civic Association. And Chris Clayton, representing our new district attorney, Ray Tierney. And you already heard from our good council people and Supervisor Carpenter. So I'm going to give this back to our special host tonight, the wonderful, wonderful Dorothy Johnson. Thank you so much.
I just wanted to say this is the 10th year of lighting the tree. But while the library was being built, for 2 years I wasn't able to have an event. But Carl, there's Carl right over there. He offered to light the chamber tree, and we would have, people attend. First of all, it's not a safe place for a group like this, but I'm very grateful to have done that, and Carl has lit the tree tonight as well. So that tree will continue to be lit. And hopefully at this time of the year, every year from here on forward, we will not only see Christmas lights in December, but we will see purple lights during the month of September. And that will bring awareness, because all the youth, a 4-year-old will say, "Ma, what's going on with all the purple? What's happening? How come everything's purple?" And they can tell them in their own way, very simply, because there are some people that just aren't well in their head, and there are people out there that give bad things to other people. So the color purple is very significant. I've worked here with Barbara. Barbara's actually from the town of Islip, and Melanie Holtz, who has worked with me all week with the tree. I want to say thank you very, very much. So there are purple light bulbs from the town of Islip, from the Great South Bay Coalition. Oh, hi, Anthony. A minute. From the Great South Bay Coalition, and also from Supervisor Romaine. He gave me 500 purple light bulbs. I just want to get back to one thing real quick. The other reason why I brought up Gabby is because when I went to Pam Mizzi, Pam, where are you? Pam, come up here, please. I went to Pam Mizzy and I said, Pam, what do I do to increase awareness? And Pam is the prevention director for Suffolk County. And she helps people start coalitions. And she looked at me and she said, you really want to do this? Really, I'll never forget that look in her face. And I said, yes, I want to do it. So we created the Great South Bay Coalition, and I had a contest at the high school. We needed a logo. So one night here at St. Ursula Center, we had, I made up a board, and these are just pictures of logos that were submitted. And we picked the one that you see as the Great South Bay Coalition. So right on the table. And this is Gabby. This is Gabby 1. And everyone did their design from the computer, and Gabby did hers by hand. And it was just ironic, you know, that she's just was an amazing person. And, you know, her mother, Nicole, right here, she helped me so much. She lives across the street from me. Helped me so much in the beginning with the Great South Bay Coalition, just getting it started, as so many people, other people here have done. And now, Marianne Pfeiffer, Barbara, Mark, where are you? Right here. I mean, and Angie and Mary Kate. Yeah, we actually filed for the federally funded drug-free grant, community grant, and we got it. So how much money is it? $125,000 for 5 years.
Can reapply for another 5 years and become fully sustainable. Each year we report our findings in the local neighborhoods. We're working with West Sayville, Bayport, and Blue Point, and that's our demographics for the drug-free community grant.
And what's amazing is when you apply for the grant, I mean, you have to prove that there's an issue in the community. They just don't give it out. And through a lot of events that I did with the support of the community and the National Guard, Melanie, Barbara, Bob Draffin, Janet, the Civic Youth, so many. We did so much work, and we proved that there was a problem here. And everyone thinks, I'm just going to say it, it's not Mulberry. You know, it's not Mulberry. It looks like Mulberry, but it's not. So we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. So please, just be aware. Talk about it. Talk about it. If you see me, say, how are you? I was thinking about you and, you know, how are you doing? Oh, when is Max's birthday? Say their name. That's very important because they are our children and they didn't disappear. Energy never dies. So I just would like to now, first of all, I want to thank Dawn Banks for being here. She'll be playing some music and singing when we do the candle lighting. Pam, I'd like to have you come up.
Sure. On the Wings of Hope, so appropriately named. And I didn't know it was the 10-year anniversary, but I want to talk about hope tonight. Even in the face of the loss of lives, in the face of the awesome, horrendous disease of addiction, we know that there is hope. We know there's hope because you're here listening, and and Dorothy does this kind of work. Hope is the belief that people can change, people will change. Hope is that people will change in time. Hope gives us all the power to try and try again, and we are all here because we all have hope. So I'm here tonight to tell you that prevention is where hope begins, and prevention is where hope turns into action. So we know prevention works. I have about 3 small points, and I'll be quick, but we know prevention works. I've been doing this job as director of the Long Island Prevention Resource Center for 13 years now. And we can show you in the numbers that communities that have active prevention coalitions have lower prevalence rates. So not only for substance abuse, but for violence, for truancy, and delinquency, school delinquency. So all those 3 things happen as a result of stakeholders coming together and working towards a common goal. The other piece I wanted to say is about how we now know that people's decision to use or not use substances is not a result of their own personal individual characteristics all by themselves, but very much a part of a larger set of pressures from the community. So social norms, community norms, mass media and social media that continue to glorify and drug and alcohol use, and then family and community peers and norms. And they all influence somebody's decision to use or not use. And so that's where community coalitions come in trying to not only address the individual themselves, but the environment in which the context in which that decision to use or not use is being made. And so that's why it's so important to have the lights, the color, the idea, the awareness, and working together, that awareness will change individual lives as well as families and peers and communities. And so I just want to finish with the fact that we all have hope. And I want to say thank you to the Great South Bay Coalition for inviting me to speak tonight and for being stalwart participants in this, pursuing hope and connectedness in the community. Thank you very much.
I'd like to have Pastor Mike Miano come up along with the other clergy that's here. Oh, yes.
Yes, Father Joseph from Our Lady of the Snow and Reverend Ray from Sayville United Congregationalist Church of Christ. Thank you, gentlemen, for being up here. Thank you all for being here tonight. I just want to share a couple quick thoughts with you. The first thing would be, of course, the reason why we're standing up here is we're your local clergy in this area. And I do know that we stand united in saying that we serve and we desire to see healing in our community. And I know we've worked toward a couple efforts together in highlighting that. So again, that's why we're here. We're your servants. We desire to serve our God and provide healing to the best of our ability. Every year I've marked out International Overdose Awareness Day as a holiday. And I know some might find issue with calling such a holiday. I know some that would say I'd find a better word. For me, a holiday provides a reason to pause, provides a cause to pause. And oftentimes that cause for pause is praises for the things that we have and the things that we see, and then of course prayers for the things that we might hope to see in the future. Praises, of course, for the Great South Bay Coalition. I have to say praise for the town of Islip for going purple for these last quite a few years now. That's always been a praise. And of course it's a praise that the town of Brookhaven has decided to join along with that. And I know some of us have talked about hoping to see a county initiative in that regard. And I'm sure there might be some here to speak to that. So again, praise to all the organizations, the local civic organizations that are here, our library that welcomes us for being here, Maxed Out Drug Prevention. Again, there's so many to name and so many resources that have been provided that we should praise. We should lift up praise that this is being made known. Awareness has been provided. Then, of course, there's ample opportunity to pray and ample opportunity for us to desire more healing in our communities and in our families, in our communities, in our churches, in our homes. And with that, I'll share just a personal prayer. For years, I've desired to just see our community come together. And again, it's a praise that we're coming together. It's ending stigma, desiring to move away from a I and them. You know, that's not my problem. My family hasn't suffered from overdose or addiction. Moving away from that and moving to a us and a we mentality. And I believe we're seeing that more and more. Again, the size of the crowd is different than when we were up at the chamber tree in the last couple years. So there is an increase, and I praise God for that. My prayer continuing, of course, now that we're united and we see this, we've raised awareness, we see this problem, we note it together, our next prayer would be, well, then what do we do? Now that we've all collectively recognized that there's an issue and that awareness needs to be made, what do we do? And this past Sunday at the Blue Point Bible Church that I have the privilege to serve at, we welcomed 2 individuals that celebrate recovery in their lives to come and share with us. One individual from Narcotics Anonymous that is hosted at our church, as well as Heroin Anonymous that is also hosted at our church, to come forward and share with us a little bit of their thoughts. And the last question was, how can we as individuals, how can we as a church walk worthy of helping provide healing in our community to the best of our ability? How can we do this, again, as individuals that recognize that it's a us and a we, and also as a community? And what was shared is very simple advice that I think we can all heed. Everybody here can listen to this advice. And it's just be kind. Find the opportunities, use discernment where you can serve the people around you. If someone needs something, find the way that you can help them. And the power of that was that we don't know what is behind our good deeds. We don't know whose mind you're changing. Again, we noticed tonight that it's not just about addiction. It's also about mental health. There's a lot that contributes to the struggle of addiction. And again, I know I could speak for us, and I don't intend to. However, we desire to see healing, and we desire to see that to the best of our ability. However we can serve, however I can serve, I'll speak for myself. And again, I hope that each of us would just continue to show as much kindness, increase the kindness in our lives and in our community. And I believe we'll see more healing than we can anticipate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have luminaries here on the table. If everyone would like to grab a luminary, I hope that there's enough. And there's markers on the table. You can write the name of someone that has passed, someone that you're concerned about. That comes from your heart. You do whatever you want on the bag. Or just leave it the way it is, say a little prayer, and place it under the tree. We're just going to make a nice big circle. So thank you for the volunteers, the youth from Yes. And my husband said don't talk about him, but I am. Because he's been put up with a lot this past week. But, this is something that I have to do. I do it from my heart. I don't do it for any other reason. And it's a distraction therapy for me as well. And I'm doing something to increase awareness. And obviously there are people here. And I want people to be able to call me and to be able to talk to me. And that's so important because I had no one to talk to who really knew what was going on. Now I talked to Nicole, even though it was not the same reason why we lost our children, but just talking to her, she gets it. So reach out and talk to someone. And I want to thank you. And go ahead, Mark.
So I wanted to remind everyone that on the 1st, this Thursday, at the town of Islip Town Hall, we will be having a ceremony, and everyone is invited. It is what we call our Color Run for Fun, where we celebrate recovery. We recognize mental health and wellness and the importance of that in our lives. And that is this Thursday at 3 p.m. There will be a Color Fun Run. The start of the Color Fun Run is 4 p.m. And then we'll have a very brief ceremony at 4:30 p.m. So we invite all of you. So on behalf of the Great South Bay Coalition, Youth Enrichment Services, the town of Islip, we invite you all to attend and to spread the word. We are offering light bulbs. We are offering bows. We are offering posters and signage and flags for those of you who wish to display your support of family members and community members and friends that are celebrating recovery or that we may remember who have passed. We want to get the awareness of Islip Goes Purple to each and every household. So we ask you to spread the word, go on our social media, share those events that we're having. We have distribution events at various towns and various areas, and we do have some bulbs and different things as well as some bags to offer. If you wish to take any posters, you can share the posters that talks about Islip Goes Purple, and it has a QR code. You can post those in your businesses, in your homes. We will have lawn signs available at the event on Thursday, so you can put those in on your lawn, in front of your home, and of course, the purple bulbs will always be a sign as well.
I want to thank the Great South Bay Coalition for purchasing the lights this year for the tree. We will need more next year because it's growing. It's growing, and so is awareness. And that is why the tree is here. So when you see a tree and you tell someone why it's purple, you can tell them it's a symbol of growth and awareness.
Amen.
Are you in? Amen. Amen. Yes. Yes. Thank you, everyone.